On the 19th of March, we have the last astrological new moon of the year, of the astrological year, and I'm going to explain exactly what this means for you and your zodiac sign. If you're new here, hi, I'm Georgie. Welcome to the channel. If you are returning, thank you so much for returning. I love you guys. Thank you for watching my channel. It really, really means a lot to me. All I will ask from you is that you give this video a like. If you get some value from it, drop a comment where you can. And feel free to share if you feel like other people would benefit from this information. I also do readings, guys. I do a variety of readings for a variety of budgets. Check out my website, which is linked on my page. So we are going to discuss the new moon in Pisces. This is the last new moon of the astrological year, because we're going to be moving into Aries season soon, which is the start of the astrological year, spring equinox. So essentially this is the last new moon. Now, what that kind of brings with it is a completion. Even though it's a new moon, and new moons are about beginnings, they're about starting something, there is an element of leaving something behind, because we are, like I said, about to enter Aries season. At the moment, we are still in Pisces season. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. It's the last sign, obviously, before Aries. And so we want to think about what the energy of Pisces is as we think about what this new moon is bringing in. So, and I am just going to run through a little bit about the energy of this new moon, and then I'm going to run through the signs, and we will be pulling tarot cards for each sign. Just a little side note there, guys. So, new moon in Pisces. So Pisces energy is very, very intuitive. It's very ethereal. It's very fluid. It's a mutable sign, so it is about being changeable, being adaptable, going with the flow, going with our intuition. Pisces energy can be a little bit all over the place, so it's not the most structured of signs. Obviously, it's opposite Virgo. So when we think about everything that Virgo brings in, such as order and structure and lists and planning, Pisces does the opposite. Pisces goes with the flow. It goes with its intuition, and it's quite happy to just intuitively make moves. So there's an element of that energy in regards to this new moon. So using our intuition when it comes to starting something. So a new moon is when the sun and the moon come together, and it's the start of the lunar cycle. So it's a really, really good time to set intentions. We're out of eclipse season now. The energy's calmed down a bit in terms of eclipse season, so we can start manifesting again. I personally take a break from manifesting during eclipse season just because the energy is a bit wild, and it's healthy spiritual hygiene just to take a step back and let the universe do its thing. So we're at a new moon again that's not in eclipse season. So this means we can set intentions. We can write down what we want to achieve. We can write down our goals. We can cement these under the energy of the new moon, because this is how we manifest. What do you want to call in intuitively? What do you want to call in that's calling to you from an intuitive standpoint? Try not to overthink it. Just try and lean in and see what's coming in for you. In 2 weeks' time, this will be a full moon, and then in 6 months' time, this will be a full moon, and actually in 6 months' time, this will be a lunar eclipse in Pisces. So this particular new moon, even though it's not an eclipse because it's too far away from the North Node, so if you can see, the North Node is now at 8 degrees, it's too far away. It's more than 15 degrees away. So although it's in Pisces, and we have been having eclipses in Pisces and Virgo for the past over 18 months now, over 18 months since September 2024. So are we at, I can't think, September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, 18 months, for the past 18 months. Wow, that's gone quick. So yeah, we've been having eclipses in these signs for the past 18 months. But this one is not an eclipse. But in 6 months' time, it will be a lunar eclipse. So that means that this new moon is going to turn into an eclipse. So it's actually still quite important, even though it's not an eclipse itself. It's still pretty potent, still pretty important. So like I said, a new moon is the time of the month where we can plant seeds. We can see things brewing around a new moon, new ideas coming in, new things starting that are going to develop. Now, it is important to note that Mercury is still retrograding in this sign. So there is an element of rethinking stuff before we can move forward. I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting anything until Mercury goes direct. Let me just check the day of that because I can't remember off the top of my head. Mercury goes direct. Sorry, I've gone too far forward now, haven't I? Bear with me. So can you see Mercury's retrograding here, that little R? Oh my gosh, we're actually really near the end of Mercury retrograde. Okay, so it's stationing on the 20th. So actually we haven't got long to wait at all. Yeah, so basically the day after Mercury's stationing, so Mercury right now in the skies, I'm recording this on the 17th, is coming to its standpoint. This is the time where Mercury retrograde themes can feel a bit more relevant, a bit more prominent, because at the station points is when the planets hold the most potent energy. So just beware, the next couple of days are going to be very Mercury retrograde-ish. Technical glitches, brain fog, miscommunications, things going on wrong, that kind of thing are going to be more prevalent over the next couple of days. Wait a couple of days after the new moon and you may start to understand what is going to be attached to this new beginning for you. Sometimes it's nothing major, it depends on your own chart. Do you have anything around 28 degrees of the mutable signs? That's Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini and Pisces, because you will be feeling the effects of the square or the opposition or the conjunction. So you will be feeling it more strongly. But equally, if you've got 28 degrees of like the earth signs or the water signs, this is going to be making a positive aspect for you. So this is going to be a really positive new moon for you. And you'll be feeling a bit more strongly if you have anything kind of from 25 to 30 degrees, even maybe 1 degree of the next sign. I do work in whole sign houses, by the way. If you're a Placidus user, you may have to listen to more than one rising sign to see where this is going to fall for you. Work out where you have 28 degrees of Pisces. So I digress. So the new moon, like I said, it's starting something. We can see things occur under a new moon. We can see new ideas coming in. We can see things happening. It is the lower energy of the month. Okay, don't expect to be going out and achieving loads necessarily. This is the time of the month where we are going in. We are low energy. The moon can't see the sun. So it's a really good time for reflection, especially as that Mercury retrograde is going to be really potent, reflecting intuitively on what we want to achieve as we move into the new astrological year. What do we want to achieve? Pisces is the dreamer, right? So we can dream big under this new moon. We can dream big. And Jupiter, that is the traditional ruler of Pisces, is now direct in Cancer, where it's lifted up, it's exalted. So this is about forward motion. Jupiter wants to grow, it wants to expand, it wants to bring us new opportunities. Very watery energy, water and water. Again, this is really being able to pay attention to our emotions. What do we want to go after? What do we want to achieve? Like I said, Pisces is connected to what we dream, what we can imagine, in being in our fantasy world. Now, the good thing about this is that we can dream big. Neptune is the modern ruler of this, is in Aries. This is like dreaming up something new, something bold, something brave, right? And Neptune is conjunct Saturn. So Saturn's like, okay, how are you going to get there though? So that's bringing in, it's grounding, it's bringing the reality check in. So it's quite helpful in that sense. So this can be about having a new dream, a new aspiration, or starting something that is big, is bold, is new, and you're having to think about how you're going to get there. There's an element of having to work hard, having a reality check about this thing that you're trying to move towards because of the Saturn piece. But Jupiter in Cancer wants us, there is an element of listening to our emotions. There's an element of, for some people that, Jupiter in Cancer for a lot of us is themes to do with the home. So there can be this big changes happening with the home, like how, wanting to expand our home, wanting to change our home, wanting to grow. Lots of changes within people's homes with Jupiter in Cancer, even if it's changes like, putting in security cameras, something like that. It doesn't have to be that you're moving house, although for some people there's quite a lot of relevance around movement with Jupiter in Cancer, or expansion of the home. But there is a connection here to dreaming around home improvements, dreaming around family improvements, dreaming around, again, going back to that Aries piece with Neptune and Saturn here, dreaming big, putting our goals into action. And actually with Saturn in Aries, it's like, I want to do this, but actually I'm going to have to be patient. And there can be some frustration around that actually. Saturn in Aries is teaching us to be patient. We want to go, 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 because Aries wants to go, go, go. Saturn is like, this is teaching you a lesson in patience. We can't get there yet. We can't go there yet. Things need to be done. Things need to be in place. You need a plan in place. And that's where the frustration can come in. Saturn in Aries doesn't want to wait. It wants to go straight away. If you've got a cup of tea, let's have a drink. Cheers. I'm English. Have to have tea every time I record one of these, guys. Sometimes I pause the video and drink. Sometimes I just drink without pausing because, you know, we're real here. We're keeping it real on this channel. So, yeah, so really, I do think this is quite a positive new moon. So the new moon itself is at 28 degrees. It's sextiling Neptune. It's sextiling Uranus. So this is a friendly energy from the planet that's like innovation, new ideas, rebellion, thinking outside the box. It's kind of like, okay, dream big. I'm going to help you move forward with something. I'm going to help you do something different. I'm going to help you think outside the box. I'm going to help you make a breakthrough. I'm going to help you stay authentic. That is the good side of Uranus. There is a loose sextile to Pluto. I mean, it's 6 degrees away. And obviously this new moon is fairly close to Neptune and Saturn still. So we are very much under the influence of the things I just mentioned anyway, to do with Neptune and Saturn. But also there is this slight help from Pluto as well, where it's like, let's transform, let's go after what we want. Let's let go of things that are no longer aligned with us as we move into a new version of ourselves. That's the Pluto piece. Nothing particularly challenging, I would say, on this new moon. A new moon conjunct Neptune can be like we're a little bit too away with the fairies, and for some people, because, you know, this is the sun is here conjunct Neptune, we can be feeling quite tired. I would say a lot of people, tiredness is quite a theme at the moment. It's Pisces season. Pisces rule sleep, so a lot of us are going to be sleeping a lot. Dreams are going to be very, very relevant. Are you having intuitive dreams? I'm having the craziest dreams right now into this Mercury retrograde. Every morning I wake up, I'm like, that was the weirdest dream. Last night I dreamt that I had my boxer dog back, because I used to have a boxer dog, but it was turning into a gorilla, and there were 2 boxers and there were 2 gorillas, and we were having this conversation. I was talking to a gorilla, but it wasn't a gorilla, it was actually my boxer dog. It was just the most bizarre, and I don't know what that means. I need to look it up. Anyway, let me know if you've been having crazy dreams under this all this Pisces energy. So the 28th degree is in the last decan of Pisces, which is connected to the 10 of Water tarot card. This is such a positive tarot card, guys. This is giving us a boost of optimism. I'm going to read you what it says from this book. This is the Good Tarot. They always kind of give you like positive statements with each card, rather than like you're doomed. It tries to make it positive mostly. So it says serenity, peace, good fortune, and well-being. All is well with the world and with me. Well-being is my natural state. Everything I need comes to me easily and effortlessly. I feel joy and express it to others as I look around and see all the love that we share. I take pleasure in all I have accomplished. Whatever attention I receive or don't receive, I am serene, for I know full well what it took for me to get where I am. I celebrate myself and all who travelled the road with me, and feel grateful to Spirit for being my companion always. So that really is kind of symbolic of this being the very last decan of the entire zodiac wheel, and it's about a journey. So if you think, you know, Aries is the beginning of the wheel, all the way around to get to Pisces, you've travelled through every sign to get to this point. You've achieved everything to get to this point, and you can now be happy, be content, because you've achieved what you want to achieve. So that particular decan is connected to positivity, good fortune, and feeling like you've achieved what you want to achieve. So that's quite a good aspect to this new moon, which I did enjoy reading. So we're going to move into the signs now, what this can mean for your sign. I'm going to start at Aries and move around to Pisces, as that is the natural zodiacal wheel. Listen for your rising sign, as this will be the most literal and the most accurate, but you then listen for your sun, because this will also be relevant, and you can listen for your moon as well, as the moon plays a part in terms of emotions and things to do with family matters as well. So listen to all 3, piece them together. Hope you enjoy. Don't forget I do readings. Drop a comment, drop a like, and subscribe so we don't lose each other in the abyss of YouTube. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into the signs. So Aries and Aries rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in your 12th house. This is a very secluded section of your chart. You guys might be finding that you're needing to rest a lot at the moment, because the 12th house really is about rest and recuperation. It's behind the scenes, it's our subconscious, it's our dream world, it's everything that is kind of behind closed doors. So there's something new is beginning here for you that may develop over the next 6 months, to do with your connection to spirituality, to do with healing, to do with energy work, possibly. So things like meditation, things like Reiki healing, things like energetic healing. There could be something new brewing for you here that would be quite beneficial for you. Now, the new moon itself is obviously sextiling Uranus in your 2nd house. So there can be something starting here for you connected to your values, what's important to you, or your money, possibly. Now, this could be that you are focusing on your subconscious, healing something. So this can be about healing, this can be about your intuition, this can be about having dreams that are trying to speak to you. This can be about your connection to spirit, if you're spiritual, you know, really focusing on your connection to spirit through meditation. Some of you might be traveling to a spa, to a retreat. You might be visiting a hospital for some reason, or a place of solitude like a church or something like that, spending time in a church, in a place of healing. You have got a lot of energy in Pisces at the moment. You know, Mars is here, Mercury retrograde is here. So for a lot of you, this, you know, there is an element of healing something, letting something go, having to look after your health. Some of you might be a bit burnt out and you're having to spend more time sleeping and more time resting and recuperating. There can be that you're working on limiting beliefs. It could be that you're working on limiting beliefs to do with your money. You're potentially earning money behind the scenes. You're focusing a lot on maybe healing other people. For some of you, it could be relevant where you're focusing on healing other people. Now, Neptune, that is the modern ruler of this, is in your 1st house. This really can be about you experiencing a shift in your limiting beliefs, experiencing a shift in your self-sabotaging behaviors, because the 12th house is where we play the victim and where we self-sabotage. So what bad habits are you trying to let go of, Aries? Because the 12th house is our bad habits. It's what we do to quite literally sabotage ourselves. So there can be an element of letting go of a bad habit, of wanting to start something new that doesn't that aligns more with who you're trying to be. Pisces is about letting go, washing away, and like I said, healing. But it can be this victimhood energy as well at times, where it can be a bit like, oh, woe is me. You know, how did I get here? And so we can dwell in our own pain a little bit when we have a lot of Pisces energy. So this is about you understanding that your healing comes from yourself, your own personal development. There can be something connected here to your family or your home. So something's brewing behind the scenes. You could be maybe traveling far away to a faraway place with a family member, or to visit family members, or you're healing something connected to home and family you're trying to expand in your emotions. Your family's trying to expand in some way. There can be changes within the home, but you're having to address something that's going on behind the scenes before you can get to that expansion. I hope that kind of makes sense. So very spiritual energy, very sensitive energy. Pisces can be a bit confused. There can be a bit of confusion around how you can move forward with something. With Saturn and Neptune in your 1st house, there's an element of you having a bit of a reality check around your life direction, and all this Pisces energy can be like, I don't really know how to move forward yet with the Mercury retrograde. But that's going to come when Aries season kicks off. You're going to find that you will be able to move forward again. You guys get the Magician. I love this card. Alchemy. When I am in alignment with Spirit's will, miracles are possible. When I see this card, I'm reminded that my will and skill alone will yield limited results. When I remember my partnership with Spirit, all is well. I'm required to explore my commitment to this co-creative alchemic relationship and see the results manifest beautifully. Through me, Spirit works magic. So that's literally telling you to manifest, okay? All this Pisces energy, manifest. You have got a lot of intuitiveness going on at the moment. So you can sit in your power and implement seeds around what it is that you want to call in, because you've got that energy there that's going to support you. So good luck, Aries. Let me know how it goes, and I'll see you in the next video. Taurus and Taurus rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in your 11th house. So there is something starting here for you around groups, friendships, your goals. There's something new coming in here. Now, obviously you've been having Mercury retrograde here. So some of you may have been saying goodbye to friendship. Some of you may have been rethinking your friendship. Some of you may have been hearing from people from the past. Some of you have been rethinking your goals, rethinking your influence in a group setting, because the 11th house is the collective. It's how we influence people collectively. So this can be on the internet if you're somebody that works on the internet. This can be in an organization if you work in an organization. That counts as collective groups. And like I said, there's a retrograde happening here. So there's this rethinking or having to rework something about one of those topics. And the new moon is coming in, implementing a new beginning for you. So it's sextile Uranus, and it's like helping you break through something. So you can have a breakthrough when it comes to a group setting, a breakthrough when it comes to a friendship, a breakthrough when it comes to a collective influence. The 11th house is also connected to charity work. So this is like raising money. So there may be something starting here for you around raising money for something, for charity over the next over the next 6 months possibly. Or the next 2 weeks, where you're thinking about doing something that raises money. That's possible. Something that's to do with healing other people, helping other people. So especially because it's Pisces, like charity work can definitely come in, because Pisces is connected to helping the people that are less fortunate than you. Now, it can be a new friend come in, a new group come into your life. So an opportunity for a new group connection, an opportunity for a new collaboration, an opportunity for, it could be connected to something going on behind the scenes. So it could be hospital work, or, you working on your own business behind the scenes. Because Aries in the 12th house is like, I'm in charge of something, I'm starting something, but I'm starting it behind the scenes. But it can also be that you're starting something spiritual, you're starting something energetic, you're starting something healing, connected to group work, or your goals around how your self-sabotage can change. You could be focusing on a new beginning around self-sabotaging behaviors. Maybe you're giving up drinking. Maybe you've got new goals around healing, around your subconscious, around past life karma stuff. Maybe you're focusing on new goals around letting something go. That's possible. With the Jupiter piece, Jupiter being in the 3rd house, there can be something, this can definitely speak to new connections within the community, a new influence collectively. Again, if you're working out in the community, or if you're working for an organization, this is really positive for you. Jupiter in the 3rd house is about you communicating, your mindset expanding, your ability to influence groups on a positive basis is being highlighted here, with this new moon in the 11th house of the collective being ruled by Jupiter in the 3rd house of the mind, conversation, communication. This can be good for social media, but it can also be good for local community work, whether you work with schools, organizations, businesses, and you're having to speak, you're having to provide a service of communication. This is going to be really, really positive for that. Or your goals are changing. This can also just be connected to your goals, new beginning for your goals, dreaming big, rethinking your goals, rethinking, okay, where do I want to live? What neighborhood do I want to live in? What car do I want to drive? What do I want to let go of? Which self-sabotaging behaviors do I want to let go of? All of these can be good, really good for like rethinking your goals. You guys get the 6 of air. So this is about journeying into something. I'm going to read the affirmation statement for you. Rite of passage, a necessary change in thinking to gain greater wisdom. However turbulent the waters at the moment, I trust that if I create calm within, my outer conditions will soon be calm too. I am conditioned to expect troubles ahead, but I have shifted my awareness, and I know that I can choose to believe that stepping into the unknown will bring me to what I truly desire. I am on a transition to something better. So a little bit of tension with air cards. So there can be an element of, if you've been overthinking something, Taurus, which you're an earth sign, it's possible. You have to tap into that Jupiter positive thinking and try and see the glass half full rather than half empty in order to get where you need to go. and fulfill the potential which is definitely there for you. So let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Gemini and Gemini rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in your 10th house. So if you have anything around 28 degrees, you're going to be feeling the pressure of the square here. So this is the sign that squares you. So it's a little bit more dynamic, and a lot of the time with squares, something needs to be done. You're going to feel it more prominent than some of the other signs. But a new moon in the 10th house is connected to your career, your reputation, and your public image. This is your public status. It's what you're building towards. It's your legacy. It's how people see you, how you're showing up in the world. You've got a lot of energy here at the moment. You're having Mercury retrograde, so you could be rethinking a job, rethinking a career, rethinking an interview, you know, anything connected to work and what you're building towards. Something new is brewing. For some of you, it could be a job interview coming. With the sextile to Uranus, it can definitely be something that's come out of the blue, a job interview that's come out of the blue, or a job that's come out of the blue. It can be a new beginning for your status. So, you know, you can be somebody that's going from single to divorce, divorce to single, you know, sorry, single to divorce. That doesn't make sense. You can be going from like single to in a relationship, or from in a relationship to divorce. You know, it can bring relationship changes as your status changes. You could be becoming a parent, becoming a grandparent, because this is how you're seen by the public, is the 10th house. You got the North Node here, so likely changes is in how you're seen by the public, and this new moon is like something starting. So yeah, it can be good if you're looking for a new job. You know, go for a job interview. You might well be that you do get it, especially if it's within an organization. There can be a new beginning at work. If you work in an organization, your goals around your job could be changing. You could be working for a larger group or a community or something, influencing a large community at work. There can be, you know, even your goals in general could just be changing. How you want to be seen can just be changing. You can be letting something go in order to move towards something new. Pisces is often about letting things go. You could be feeling a bit confused actually around what it is that you want to do, and the new moon could be activating that. There could be some confusion, especially with the Mercury retrograde. What is it that I want to do? What is it that I'm seen as? What legacy am I building? So there can be a bit of confusion, but when Mercury turns direct in a couple of days, as it moves forward again, you will gain a bit more clarity around this. So if you have been dwelling, you know, what am I building here? What am I showing up as? What job do I want? The confusion will start to kind of fade away as Mercury moves direct, and you'll gain a bit more clarity. And the new moon can symbolize something that's going to build in 2 weeks or 2 months, especially because there's going to be an eclipse here. Can be that you're starting to question the work that you're in now, and in 6 months' time you end up leaving that work. That can be what happens. Especially when it's, you know, it is connected to money, because Jupiter, the traditional ruler of this, is in your 2nd house. So it can be very much about, what do I value? What do I value about my job? What do I value about my career? Am I making enough money? The 2nd house is money. Jupiter in your 2nd house gives you an expansion around money. It means money can bring freedom, or you know, you're feeling optimistic about money, or, you know, it can be good with Jupiter in the 2nd house for your self-worth and knowing and understanding your own value. So actually this can then cause you to be like, actually, I'm not going to work there anymore because I deserve better. And this new moon can be activating a change within your career because of that, because of this expansion around what it is that you're worth and your own value. So yeah, new jobs can definitely be coming in if you want them. If you don't want a new job, it can just be a change in the career. It changes in your workspace, if you work in an office, wherever you work, there can be something new starting here. You new staff members coming in, new team members coming in. Things like that can definitely happen with a new moon in the 10th. Something is brewing, something is beginning. You guys get the Hermit. Okay, so that does kind of speak towards maybe not necessarily knowing, like that confusion piece I mentioned could be a little bit more relevant then for some of you, because the Hermit is about taking time out. It says sometimes it's necessary to take time out for regrouping and introspection. This is a temporary experience, but one necessary for my growth. When I step back, retreat, regroup and renew, I have a clear perspective on everything in life. So it's temporarily, you may be feeling a bit confused. So again, that's that Pisces energy, that Mercury retrograde. What do I want to achieve? New moon conjunct Neptune is a bit like, I don't really know where to go from here. However, wait till, like I said, wait till the retrograde's over, because then clarity will eventually come to you. So let me know, Gemini, your thoughts on this, and I will see you in the next video. Cancer and Cancer rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in your 9th house. So the 9th house is about your perspective on the world. It's about your beliefs, your worldview, how you see things. It's higher education, higher learning. It is also travel. Teachers and gurus, and also legal matters can come under this house as well. So you've got a lot going on here at the moment, all this Pisces energy. You've had the Mercury retrograde here. So there can be an element of rethinking something. So for example, if you're studying something at the moment, maybe something's been slowed down, or maybe you're having to redo something. Pisces energy can be a bit all over the place, and maybe you felt overwhelmed and overburdened with all the things that you have to do, and so this new moon can bring in a fresh start when it comes to something that you are learning, especially after the retrograde moves forward again. Maybe you feel like you can actually move forward again with study. The 9th house is travel, so some of you can quite literally be traveling under this, planning travel, dreaming about places that you want to travel, especially as it's conjunct Neptune, getting travel ideas and plans into place, and just being in this dream world of wow, where do I want to travel, and you know, really living in that fantasy world can definitely be relevant for some of you. You could be traveling for work, or you could just be setting goals around places that you want to travel to, and it can be something like unexpected, or you can have a breakthrough, or it can just be something really rebellious, like you're going to go away for like a month or 2 months, or something that you wouldn't usually do with the sextile to Uranus. That's possible. But you know, Jupiter that traditionally rules this is in your 1st house, so this is giving you freedom to be able to go after that goal. So it's making you more inclined to want to spread your wings and be free. You don't want anything to tie you down, and actually now you've got Saturn and Neptune in your 10th, maybe your career is holding you back from the freedom that you want to achieve. You may find that possible, that something about your career is holding you back from the freedom that you want to experience. With Jupiter in the 1st, you're like, I want to be free, I want to grow, and you are growing, and you are having these amazing opportunities come to you. But there's just an element about Saturn, because it's conjunct Neptune that rules this, that's kind of giving you a bit of a reality check and saying, hold on a minute, you know, you've got a job, you can't just be free, you can't be as free as you want to be. Or it can be that you're learning something for your work, you're really taking responsibility around your work and your career, so you're expanding your mind because of that. And you're expanding yourself, you're really growing because of this information you're taking on. The 9th house is also how we broadcast information, so it's about the information that you're sharing. Maybe you're putting new information out there that can be spiritual or intuitive, or you're really using your intuitive gifts to share information. Like if you're somebody that works online, or if you're into publishing, YouTube for example can be part of the 9th house, because you're sharing information, you're teaching. So you could be the teacher here, and you're teaching intuitively, or you're sharing information about something, like I said, something spiritual, or something ethereal in some way. What else do I want to say about that 9th house? So yes, we've spoken about learning, higher education. This is also our beliefs, so there can be a new beginning here around what it is that you believe in, how you see the world. It's really new. You know, you've been having a lot of eclipses here. You've just had Saturn come out of this house. You know, how you view the world and your beliefs about life in general have changed hugely over the past couple of years. Things that you thought were going to happen have not happened. Now you've got a new moon here, so there can be a new beginning here for your belief system, your worldview, for what you believe is going to happen, what you believe about the world. 9th house is very expansive, and having Pisces on the 9th house is very spiritual, very you know, you're probably somebody that has spiritual beliefs, or at least you're open to them, or at least you're open to spiritual beliefs, or religious, or you don't have set beliefs. You're very fluid when it comes to your belief system. You're very adaptable. You're able to appreciate other people's beliefs about stuff. And the new moon can be activating something here for you, like maybe you're learning something new, maybe your beliefs are shifting in some way. 9th house is also ceremony, so for some of you there can be something like a wedding could be taking place. You could be attending a wedding, you could be attending a funeral is possible, because that's also legal matters, having to deal with paperwork and things like that. Legal stuff is possible for some of you, but I think this is, for the most part, I think this is really more about your learning and the expansion of your mind, and and travel is going to be more likely. But you'll have to let me know, Cancer, how this is manifesting for you. We're going to do a tarot card for Cancer now. Ninth house is a really nice energy for you as well because it trines you. So it's water and water. So you can just feel really expansive. You can really feel like you're focusing on, like developing your higher mind in some way. You guys get the Ace of Air, the Unicorn card. Okay. Destiny and fate, the law of karma, powerful forces of transformation at work, and synchronicity. Meaningful coincidences and forces beyond my human control are operating in my life now for the highest good. Things are happening now with great velocity. I can expect quick results that will lead me forward with excellent information. So it's a very karmic card. Things are happening. You can't really control them. You're being accelerated. This is the house of adventure as well, and it's quite a positive house. So I feel like things are looking good for you in under this energy, Cancer. Leo and Leo rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in your 8th house. So the 8th house is a very sensitive house. You know, you can feel quite anxious and quite emotionally heavy under this new moon, I would say, because it's Pisces, it's emotional anyway, it's watery. The 8th house is Scorpio's house. So this is the house of secrets. This is the house of trauma, psychology. It's the house of anxiety. It's the house of everything that we keep within us, okay? It's our psychological behavior, everything we keep within. It's where we feel things really intensely. It's also the house of intimacy. And it's the house of joint finances, how we connect with others on an intimate level, financially as well as emotionally. So a new moon here. So first of all, this could be something financial. So this could be, you know, you've got Mercury retrograde here. You could be rethinking your finances, rethinking your joint finances, rethinking your business partners, having to sort out money. Joint money can definitely be a thing. Now, Neptune, that modernly rules this, is conjunct Saturn in the 9th house. So there can definitely be some legal matters when it comes to money that is coming up. It can be that you are having to address sudden Aries, sudden kind of, like legal matters or documents connected to the 8th house. You're having to address stuff that's maybe been buried and you might not necessarily want to address. This could be affecting your beliefs. You could be having some pressure on your belief system at the moment, even from this. So yeah, something financial could be occurring, and it could be connected to travel. It can be connected to things that are kept kind of behind the scenes, with Jupiter hiding in the 12th house there. You're being asked to let something go. You're being asked to have faith. Jupiter in the 12th house is about having faith. The 8th house can be, you know, worst case scenario, it's the house of you know, trauma, our demons. So for some of you, there can be something a little bit tricky happening under this energy, but ultimately this is about you transforming. Okay, it's Pisces, it's the last decan of the entire zodiac, so this is really about you really kind of transforming into something, and it might feel uncomfortable being in the 8th house. Something can be dissolving financially, something can be you're being asked to let go of something. You can be focusing, you could be having therapy, you could be focusing on your own psychological issues or matters. You can be focusing on healing something within yourself, connected to trauma, connected to something very deep within you. The 8th house can be, you know, it's the house of transformation, so it can be connected to energies, psychic energies of healing can often show up in the 8th house. It's the house of the psychic, so there can be something where you're connecting with a psychic, you're connecting with deeper energies, especially with it's with Pisces. There's something very intuitive and very energetic going on here, where you can be connecting with somebody that's going to help you see things that you've buried. For example, like talking to a therapist, talking to a psychic, talking to somebody that's going to help you emotionally release something, Pisces. Especially because Jupiter's in the 12th, so like Reiki, trauma healing, trauma bond healing, sound baths, meditation, really for some of you, the best way to use this energy would be actually to be doing those things, to be meditating, to be connecting to your higher self, because that's going to relieve any anxiety that's coming through. It's the house of intimacy, so intimate experiences with a partner, or having to have, wanting to connect on a deep level with a partner can show up for some of you, possibly. But I think this is going to be more about you dealing with emotional stuff, you healing something emotionally, and like I said, possibly really financial stuff. With Saturn and Neptune having moved into the 9th, I feel like there's things here to do with legal stuff that you're having to address. So for example, say that you'd broken up with a partner and you haven't really focused on the divorce. This new moon over the next 6 months may actually push you to focus on the legal proceedings that would be connected to a divorce. That's just an example, because you can't hide from stuff in the 8th. The 8th house buries stuff, but when we have lunations here, we can't hide from them. We have to address them, and they can feel a bit uncomfortable. It can also be about your own wounding and how you can, maybe speak to an astrologer, or maybe have a different viewpoint on something, and it's going to help you heal in some way. So, Leo, let's have a look and see. Okay, well, that jumped out. You guys also get the Ace of Air. Karmic stuff's happening right now. Destiny and fate, the law of karma, powerful forces and transformation at work, synchronicity. Meaningful coincidences and forces beyond my human control are operating in my life now for the highest good. Things are happening now with great velocity. I can expect quick results that will lead me forward with excellent information. So just know that what's going on right now, think of Pisces, it's about surrender. Because everything that's happening right now is supposed to be happening. So it's surrender. It's releasing that need to be in control, that Virgo side. We are surrendering because we're about to move into a new astrological year. So everyone's being called to surrender, but that's coming through quite strongly for you guys. Thank you for watching, Leo. I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, Virgo and Virgo rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in your 7th house. This is an angular house for you, so this new moon is very relevant for you. It's your opposite sign. So it takes things away from you and it brings in other people. The 7th house is other people. So something new here to do with another person. This can be a new beginning starting for you around a relationship. So it can quite physically be a new relationship, a new person coming in. That's definitely possible with a sextile to Uranus, an unexpected relationship coming in. It can be a new beginning for you around your friends. So, building a closer bond with a friend because of Jupiter in the 11th house. A new beginning intimately for a relationship, or it can be that you're healing something about a relationship. So it could be that you are attending therapy, you're seeking psychological help and therapy connected to a relationship. So maybe you're healing something, maybe you are trying to get over an ex-partner and you're going to see a therapist to help you do that. Maybe you're just focusing on your own work, on your own trauma, and really kind of diving into that, and it's connected to a partner, and the new moon is highlighting a new beginning here for you. Can be something starting with a partner and their money. So a new beginning for a partner's money. Maybe they're investing money, maybe they've lost some money, maybe you are opening a joint bank account, maybe you are paying off debts, maybe you are remortgaging, but there can be definitely be a connection here between your partner and finances, your partner and your goals. So maybe your goals are changing. If you're in a relationship, maybe you're changing your goals, and thinking, right, we want to save this amount, so we need to put this amount away. And there's emphasis here potentially on saving or paying off debts or financial stuff between you and a partner. This can also apply to business partners. So there can be a new business partner, a new investor coming in for something. Or it can be something happening in your partner's life. So sometimes astrology shows up in our chart, but it's actually happening to another person. So a new moon in the 7th house can be maybe your partner's going through a trauma, maybe your partner is experiencing something intimate, maybe your partner is experiencing something financial. That can be the piece that's coming through. The 7th house is all one-on-one connections. It's not just romantic. So this could be a best friend, a parent, a child, something new happening in their life, or a new beginning for your relationship with them. So you know, even when I say about intimacy, you know, it can be that you're experiencing a more intimate connection with a parent, or you're going deeper with a parent or a child, or you're having to talk to your child about something that they're going through. There's just a connection here between emotions, feeling, letting go, connection with a partner, or a person that's important in our lives. But it could be like a child, like they're going through a transformation, you're having to talk to them, maybe they're experiencing something at school, you know, that kind of stuff, where you're having to have those intimate conversations. That can be part of it with the new moon in the 7th house. It's not always our romantic partners. Can also be like agreements, you know, sales, that kind of stuff can come in. But in Pisces, it tends to be about healing, and it tends to be about being empathetic, listening, or healing, or something slipping away from us that we can't necessarily see, something going on that we're a little bit confused about, possibly with the conjunction to Neptune as well. What is going on here? That is the 3rd time that card's come out. You're all karmic. You're all getting karmic cards. Destiny and fate's happening, guys. I mean, it's Pisces. It's very much like we're surrendering to the laws of the universe. The law of karma, powerful forces of transformation at work, synchronicity. Meaningful coincidences and forces beyond my human control are operating in my life now for the highest good. Things are happening now with great velocity. I can expect quick results that will lead me forward with excellent information. So there you go. Karmic, surrender, trust. Let me know what's going on, Virgo, and I will see you in the next video. Libra and Libra rising. You guys are experiencing this new moon in your 6th house. This is connected to your work, your health, your routines, your habits, your schedules, your pets. A new moon here is starting something. So there's a new beginning here for your health, possibly. Maybe you're focusing more on your health. Maybe you're letting go of things that are not serving you health-wise. The retrograde has been helping you, has been bringing stuff up health-wise for some of you, and saying, right, let's try this, let's try that. You might be fasting. You might be going vegetarian. You might be on a diet. You know, there's focus here on what we're eating, what we're putting into our body. So the new moon can bring a new beginning for that for you in terms of your health. You may have been a little bit more under the weather, I would say, with all this Pisces energy, maybe tired. If you've been burnt out, then that's going to manifest physically for you. So the new moon here can be starting something fresh, but maybe you're moving forward with your health, especially with Jupiter that rules this, you know, in the 10th house. You know, maybe your goals are, your goals towards your health are changing and expanding. Now, Neptune that modernly rules this is conjunct Saturn. So again, that's bringing this piece of, right, I need to be more disciplined around my health. Or if it's not connected to your health, it's connected to your work. So, and your routines and your schedules. So I need to be more disciplined around my schedules. Or there's a new beginning for your schedules or your work. Maybe you're starting a new job, connected to healing for some of you, but could just be connected to, you're intuitively going for an interview. Maybe you're saying goodbye to a job. That's also possible. New moon, conjunct Neptune, something dissolving. Jupiter in the 10th house is bringing you expansion in your career, new opportunities in your career, new bigger expansion around how you're seen publicly. So a new beginning, a new moon in your 6th house is like, right, I'm starting a new job, I'm being seen differently publicly. Or there's there's something new happening in the workplace. The 6th house is who we work with, people that work under us, our subordinates. The 6th house is connected to service, so it's how we serve other people. So there's something new for some of you brewing here, how you want to be of service to other people. So it could be, you know, if you run your own business, maybe you're now offering a new service because you want to add something into your, what's the word I'm looking for? Into your belt of things that you do. So, you know, you want to change your website around, or you want to start offering something new to people. And the retrograde has been helping you finalize that and decide that and rethink that. I'm just trying to think about the Neptune and the Saturn piece in your 7th house. So this is, you know, the 7th house can be your clients. So Neptune and Saturn in the 7th house can be some interesting people coming to you, actually. But the new moon in the 6th is like, okay, a new beginning for my work. And so maybe you're taking more responsibility for your clients, or maybe it's going to, whatever this new beginning at work is, it's going to bring in a new type of client to you. That's possible as well. So pets as well. Pets can come in under a new moon in the 6th house. Schedules, so it could just be you're changing how much you work, you're changing your hours, you're shifting things around. in your working space. You're shifting your habits. Self-care also is a focus in this house, so looking after your health as a form of self-care. Right, we're going to pull a card for Libra. What do they need to know under this new moon? Oh, you guys get the 8 of water. Powerful card. Scorpio card, that one. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. If I can find the page. Journey of discovery, letting go and seeking a deeper meaning and greater authenticity beyond superficiality. All that glitters isn't gold, and I know that I always deserve authentic riches, the gold that fills me with joy, abundance and understanding. I fearlessly pause to re-examine where I have been, where I am and where I might go. Now I consciously choose the path that is right for me instead of the one that seems likely to draw me onto it, or the one that I feel I ought to walk. I am true to my heart. I've come as far as I can, and I leave by the wayside the last vestiges of illusion, the last bits of fear and shame. I will no longer hold on to what isn't right for me. So that really is about starting something new work-wise that is authentically aligned for a lot of you. So letting go, Pisces, in order for something really authentic to come in. So let me know, Libra, how that resonates. Thank you for listening and watching, and I will see you in the next video. Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This new moon is happening in Pisces in your 5th house. This is a house that's friendly to you. This is, water energy. It's trining you, especially if you have anything around 28 degrees. Excuse me. So a new moon in the 5th house. This is fun energy. This is a very fun new moon for you guys. The 5th house is creativity, joy. It's how we have fun. It's our hobbies. It's how we express ourselves. It's love, romance, dating, creativity, and children. When you think about children, think how much fun they have. Think how energetic they are, and they just, when they're young and they don't have all these insecurities when they're younger, and they just love living life and they just have that joy. The 5th house is like that. It's our joy. It's our childlike energy. And having Pisces on the 5th house makes you very creative in your own way. So a new moon here could be simply something like you're doing something creative, you're enjoying something creative, you're starting a new hobby, you're starting something for joy, you're going out having fun. Pisces on the 5th house can also be you're partial to maybe escaping in terms of, maybe you like going out drinking for fun, that kind of stuff. So it's not necessarily that healthy for you. But there may have been changes to what you find fun as you've had the North Node moving through the 5th house. And this new moon is starting a new beginning for you. Maybe you are planning a trip. Maybe you are traveling somewhere for fun with Jupiter in the 9th house. Maybe you're learning something new for your business. If you have a business, you could be doing something creative, but you could be expanding your mind, learning something new for that business. That's possible. Especially because Neptune, that modernly rules this, is conjunct Saturn in the 6th house. This does speak towards your work and your health playing a part here. So it can be, if you have a business and you're creating something, you're having a bit of a reality check around your work, around being of service, and maybe you're having to just become more responsible for your business in some way, for the creation of your business, for putting a new project out there or creating something. You're having to actually think about what it is that you want to put out, think about what it is that you need to plan, think about what you need to organize, that kind of stuff. There can be a piece of that coming in with Neptune conjunct Saturn in your 6th house of work, because work is about how we're being of service. It's about our routines, our schedules. So it is pulling in that energy of work into the 5th house. So a lot of this for some of you can be about business. What am I creating? How are my schedules changing connected to my business? And actually, when you have a lot of energy in the 5th house transit wise, it can just be you're really busy with your business, which can be quite good. You're being more seen with the things that you're creating. If you don't have a business, and this isn't business related, this is more about you expressing yourself and having fun. So you can be going on a date. You can be, like I said, doing a new hobby, doing something creative. You can be spending time with children. This could be a new beginning for your child's life, your children's life. Maybe children are affecting your routines, or their schedules are changing and it's affecting you in some way. But generally this is a positive new moon. So something is starting here connected to children or connected to something that you are building, you are creating. Obviously really exciting if you've got a date lined up. I mean, the sextile to Uranus in the 7th house can definitely be a breakthrough when it comes to dating. You can be rethinking romantic partners with Mercury retrograde in the 5th, or you can be hearing from old lovers. That is possible. But the new moon that's going to turn into a full moon lunar eclipse in 6 months' time is symbolizing an important beginning here. So set intentions around your love life. If you want to bring someone in, who is it that you want to bring in? Having Pisces on the 5th house, you can attract people that are a little bit wishy-washy or spiritual or creatives themselves. That's all possible. People that are not necessarily reliable can come through with that, or that it could be just that they're quite spiritual. But generally this is a positive new moon, so it can just be like a new beginning around your dating life, your love life, and what you're doing for fun. You guys get the Queen of Earth. I haven't seen her for ages. Queen of Earth, Queen of Earth, Queen of Earth. Okay, practical and grounded, trustworthy, earthy, resourceful, and a gardener who tends to what has been planted. I am committed, down to earth, and clear about my goals. I am honest as I work with others to keep it real and be true to what we are doing and the challenges before us. I use all of my resources wisely, whether they are finances, opportunities, or people willing to help me in my endeavours. Okay, so I think this is about, maybe this could be about somebody coming in that's quite grounded and good for you. It could be somebody that you work with, or somebody that's good for business, or it can be a romantic partner that's coming in. So watch out for that coming through, Scorpio. Let me know how that resonates with you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Sagittarius, you and Sagittarius rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in your 4th house. So this is a house that's angular. It's a house that squares you, especially if you have any placements around 28 degrees. So it can be felt more strongly, and it can suggest that something needs doing. Squares suggest action. They're dynamic. So a new moon in the 4th house that's going to turn into a lunar eclipse in the next 6 months. Something new is starting here for you around your home and your family. For a lot of you, this is going to be a house move, because it's going to turn into a lunar eclipse. And it's ruled by, Jupiter. It's in the 8th house of money. So this can be about mortgages. This can be about transformation within the home. This can be about intimacy, moving in with a partner. It can be something that's, a bit of a breakthrough with a sextile to Uranus. So there can be something unexpected that comes in, a sudden idea, or just a feeling of, let's do it, let's move in together, that kind of vibe. Or let's move out of this home, that kind of stuff. Now, this can involve your children, or it can involve your romantic partner, because Neptune that modernly rules this is in the 5th house conjunct Saturn. The 5th house is romance. It's also your children. So there's something new happening in your home, and it's going to affect your children, or it's going to involve your children, or it's going to involve a romantic partner, or it's going to affect a romantic partner. Or it can be connected to business. Maybe you're having to move in order to have enough space to run your business. That can happen. Maybe there's just a connection here between your home and your children, or your loved one, your romantic partner. If you don't have any children and you don't have a romantic partner, then this can be something to do with your home life and how you express yourself, how you have fun. Not all of you are going to be moving. Some of you, it can just be a new beginning in the home, in terms of maybe you're having a shift around. Maybe you're doing something creative within the home. You could be redecorating, readjusting. You'll be having this whole new look around your home. Then the 4th house is our family as well. So there can be a new beginning happening within the family. Some of you may be getting pregnant. Some of you may be having a baby. There may be some changes connected to children within the home. Maybe you're planning a baby. Maybe within the next 6 months you're going to be having a baby. But there's definitely energy here around children, babies, lovers. But like I said, it can just be connected to your family, in terms of it can be something happening to a family member. So there can be a new beginning for a family member. That can show up in your chart as well. So something happening with your mum, your dad, siblings, that's all possible. Something happening in their life that's relevant and showing up in your chart. What else do I want to say about that? Borrowing some money for a home, possible. Having investors, that's possible for something connected to a home. Having to take out a loan connected to the home. Things to do with water. I don't know why I said it that That, not aggressively. Pisces is water, right? So things to do with water in the home can definitely be possible. Maybe you've run out, maybe your water's gone off, or maybe there's a flood or something. I don't want to say that, but that, because this looks more like a positive new moon, but it depends how much it's squaring your own placements, because Neptune is conjunct Saturn, right? Yeah, shifts, letting go, healing something. I mean, the fourth house is also our emotions and our ancestral patterns. It's actually the most private section of our chart, because it's what people don't see. It's everything behind closed doors. It's our inner core. The MC, which is, you know, connected to the 10th house, is what people see of us. The fourth is what people don't see of us. So Pisces here, inwardly, you're very, very sensitive. You're very, very delicate. And a new moon here can be about healing something connected to your home, or, you know, trauma, ancestral patterns, wanting to heal something and let something go. Hearing from old family members, especially because of this Mercury retrograde, rethinking things within the home, definitely relevant, or having to sort or adjust something out. So you'll have to let me know, Sagittarius, what is going on at home for you, connected to babies, children, connected to a romantic partner, and you're going to see some forward movement here within the next 6 months. Something's going to be changing here for you within the next 6 months. That's exciting. And you guys get the love card. So I think some of you are going to be enjoying a new I want to say a new home. New experiences within the home, moving in with partners, that kind of stuff. In all of life, there is only the illusion of separation. In fact, we are all reflections of one another. When I make choices, I tend to see things as either or. What if every choice I make is about experience, a sharing and an exploring? When I choose to see the unity in all things, magic abounds. Love is all around me. Spirit loves me unconditionally, and I can give and receive abundant love. So I feel like you're coming together with somebody here. Something is coming together here. A plan is coming together here. So you'll have to let me know how that resonates, Sagittarius. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So Capricorn and Capricorn rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in your 3rd house. 3rd house, friendly energy to you. It's a sextile energy. A new moon, the 3rd house is connected to so many different things. It is kind of like the mumble jumble draw of astrology. This is about your mindset. This is about what it is that you're learning, but it's also about your neighborhood, your neighbors, your local community. Things like, you know, the library, the post office, the supermarket. If you have children, you know, the school PTA, your children's schools, that kind of mingling, social connections, 3rd house, connecting with others. But it's also technology, social media, how we connect, how we speak. It's our siblings, our relatives, our extended family, and it's also our transportation and short trips. So it's traveling around, you know, local places. It's our car. So there's so many different things that show up in the 3rd house. So a new moon here could be connected to any of those things, really. But so the modern ruler of this Neptune is conjunct Saturn in the 4th. So for example, this can be a new beginning around your neighborhood, your neighbors, and something connected to your home. It could be that you're moving. Some of you could be moving. Some of you could be adjusting your home. Some of you could be researching, taking on information, or having conversations about your home, about your family member, wanting to make changes, because Neptune and Saturn in the 4th house is going to bring change to your home environment in some way over the next few years. You know, Saturn in the 4th is a reality check. It can make you feel a bit emotionally heavy, but it's putting your focus into the 4th house. Saturn rules you. Healing something, letting something go, dissolving of something in terms of your family or your home environment. And this new moon in Pisces, maybe you're having a new mindset around home stuff. Maybe you're having a conversation. Maybe you're reconnecting with siblings, with relatives, with extended family that you've not spoken to for a while with Mercury retrograde here. Maybe you're having conversations with your relatives connected to your home. Maybe you're having conversations with your romantic partner, Jupiter in the 7th. Thinking, dreaming. I really feel like conversation is really important with this, with a family member or with a romantic partner. Wanting to connect, wanting to understand, wanting to learn something about them. community. So again, a new beginning for you in terms of community. So maybe you are going out and joining a baby toddler group, or you're going to a local swimming class, Pisces. Maybe you're going swimming with your baby, you know, family. So the things like that can come through. If you work in a place where you're connecting, communicating, there's something new could be happening here for you, connected to your home. So maybe you're changing your work schedule. That could be possible because of stuff at home. Social media, something could be coming about on social media. You could be sharing some information on social media. That's possible. A new car, a new neighbor could be coming in. You could be traveling somewhere. You could just be going on a local trip. You could be exploring a beach. You're going to the seaside, that kind of stuff, because the third house is short trips. And Mars is here too, so Mars is putting our energy here. So yeah, like traveling places with your family, somewhere local, definitely possible under this new moon. What else do I want to say about that, really? I didn't shuffle that properly. So this is also connected to our mind. So Pisces on the third house is, you can get lost in your thoughts. Okay, you can definitely get lost in your thoughts with this energy. And actually time can kind of run away with you, like because the third house is like our routines. It's how we go about here, there and everywhere. And when you have Pisces here, you can just kind of feel like, oh, what have I, I've got all these errands to do, and you can just, time can get away with you when you have Pisces here. And so I don't know, this new moon can be connected to that in some way, where you're feeling like your routines and your day-to-day is just a little bit, you just may find under this Pisces energy, you're just a bit like, okay, where are my keys? Oh, now I need to go to the bottle bank. Oh, but I've forgotten to go to the supermarket. And you can just feel a little bit unorganized, is what I'm trying to say, with all this Pisces energy, and the new moon can be highlighting that in some way. You guys get the Queen of Water. Let me find her for you, sorry. Queen of Water: compassion, emotional security, generosity, self-love and self-care, and healer. I am comfortable in my own skin. I love, cherish and nurture myself. I am the best friend to myself. My relationships with others reflect my security in knowing I am always worthy of love and respect. I heal myself so I can be the change I want to see in the world, and so my compassion can inspire others. So that's really beautiful. It's encouraging you to love yourself and encouraging you to understand your gifts. You can be a very soft speaker with Pisces on the third house, and you can be very healing for other people when you speak to them. So there can be an element of having conversations with other people that bring some healing to you or bring some healing to them. Let me know, Capricorn, how that resonates, and I will see you in the next video. Aquarius and Aquarius rising, you are experiencing this new moon in Pisces in the second house. I'm just going to rewind it so we can actually see Pisces in the moon in the second house. There we go. Yes, new moon in the second house in the sign of Pisces. So this is financial for you, probably. Second house is our income. It's what we're earning. It's money that comes from ourselves. It's also what we value, our possessions and our self-worth come up in the second house too. So having a new moon here tends to be a new beginning around money a lot of the time. So it can be money that you are calling in, money that you are focusing on. Maybe you've been rethinking your income, rethinking what it is that you earn with the retrograde happening here. So a new moon here can start like a new financial beginning for you over the next 6 months. And maybe you've got a new job, especially with Jupiter in the 6th house, a new job can be coming in, and this is a new opportunity to earn. Money can just come into you. You can be spending money as well. It's Pisces. We can be a little bit careless with our money when we have Pisces on the second house, because it's ruled by Neptune, so you don't tend to know where it always goes. You can just be like, oh, that's fine, or kind of over giving, and money can fall away from us. So that's just something to watch out for. You could be spending money on a local trip, spending money on learning something, spending money on community matters. Neptune that rules this is conjunct Saturn, so there is this element of a reality check around your finances, and maybe you're wanting to learn something, maybe you're wanting to study something, maybe your mindset is challenged a little bit around your finances at the moment with Saturn in the third house. Maybe you need to release some limiting beliefs around what it is that you're worth, what it is that you value. There can be some, yeah, because the second house is what we value. It's our possessions, what's important to us. So there can be a connection here between, you know, a change in our thinking or around what actually we value, what's important to us anymore. And that can be showing up. You know, what do I actually want to earn? What's important to me around, you know, how much is money important to me? And you're thinking a lot about this at the moment. Or you're going out into the community. You've got a new job within the community, within the neighborhood, something like that. That could be a way that you're now earning money. Jupiter, that traditionally rules this, is in the 6th house. So this can be, like I said, a new job where you're being of service to other people. Maybe you're spending money on a new pet. That can also be possible. Maybe you're focusing on your self-worth a bit. Pisces on the 2nd house doesn't really value themselves that highly. Okay, and that's something that you need to work on. What do I actually value myself? Because Pisces is quite self-deprecating, and having it on the 2nd house of values, you need to learn to love yourself more, and you need to focus on self-love a little bit more. And so maybe you've been rethinking under this Mercury retrograde, how can I love myself a little bit more? How can I take care of myself a little bit more? You guys get the love card. This can be about knowing that there are people around you to connect with, connecting, oneness. In all of life, there is only the illusion of separation. In fact, we are all reflections of one another. When I make choices, I tend to see things as either or. What if every choice I make is about an experience, a sharing and an exploring? When I choose to see the unity in all things, magic abounds. Love is all around me. Spirit loves me unconditionally, and I can give and receive abundant love. So this is about connecting together, maybe collaborating with somebody, maybe like connecting with others, which is the 3rd house when it comes to your resources, sharing your resources, just coming together to build something with other people in some way could be relevant for some of you. So I hope that resonates, Aquarius. You'll have to let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Pisces, we are at 111. This is a new moon in your own sign. So Pisces and Pisces rising, this is your new moon. So we only get one new moon a year in our own sign. So this is a chance for you to start afresh, especially as we're about to head into Aries season. Jupiter, which traditionally rules you, is now direct in Cancer. This is a positive new moon for you. Especially as Jupiter is trining you, depending on where you have placements in Pisces. If you have anything around 28 degrees, then this new moon will be conjunct that. If you have anything around 15 degrees, then Jupiter's trining you right now. So this is really positive energy. So a new moon in the 1st house is the beginning of something connected to anything connected to you. This is your work. This is how you show up in the world. This is your beliefs. This is your life direction. This is your family, your career. Anything connected to you is connected to the 1st house. This is quite literally connected to your physical body and your health. So there can be a new beginning around your health, your physical body. But generally a new moon in the 1st house is you starting afresh. Like I said, Jupiter traditionally rules this, it's in the 5th house. There can be a new beginning for you around your love life, a new beginning for you around children. There can be a pregnancy, there can be a relationship coming in. There can be something that you do for joy, like a new hobby or something that you could be starting with Jupiter in the 5th. You could be starting something fun, starting something, a new beginning connected to your health. So what have you been doing? How have you been focusing on your health, your body? You could be quite motivated around achieving something with Mars here as well. But with the Mercury retrograding, you've maybe been rethinking something about your appearance or rethinking something about your identity and how you're showing up. And a new moon here can symbolize a new identity for you. You may be really turning a leaf under this new moon, and the next 6 months are going to be a manifestation of that, because you are going to have a lunar eclipse in your sign. So this can be a real turning point for you, the start of a turning point, and this is a good time to really set intentions around what you want to achieve over the next 6 months. Now Neptune, that modernly rules this, is in your 2nd house conjunct Saturn. So there can be something here to do with your money that's connected to you as well. So maybe having to tighten your belt, maybe a new beginning for you around your self-worth. And actually with Saturn in the 2nd house, you may not be feeling that great about yourself, Pisces, even more so than usual, because some of you can struggle with not feeling too good about yourself. And Saturn in your 2nd house can be dampening your self-worth a little bit, or it can be encouraging you that you need to work on your self-love, and this new beginning can be saying, right, how do I value myself? Where do I set my boundaries, and what am I doing in order to stick up for myself, and where do I really value myself? Neptune and Saturn are together, so it's really is bringing in themes of Saturn connected to this new moon, connected to you as a person. Taking responsibility for your life as well, I think, could be relevant. You know, Saturn the second is like, okay, I need to tighten my belt a little bit, I need to save money, and it's really calling you to take responsibility actually for everything that's gone on over the past couple of years. As you've had the North Node moving through your sign, a lot has changed, and you're being asked to actually take responsibility for that with Neptune conjunct Saturn. Dreaming, which you do anyway, you know, the new moon conjunct Neptune is like, okay, I'm in my fantasy world, I want to escape. Some of you, if you're lower energy, are going to be wanting to escape, wanting to drink, wanting to avoid situations, but the Saturn piece is bringing you a reality check, so you need to pay attention to that, because if you keep avoiding, you're going to stay in that place where you don't take responsibility for things, and then you're never going to learn, and you're never going to grow, you're never going to get out of it. You're very sensitive souls, and you know, Jupiter in the 5th house is bringing you a lot of positive experiences, but you just need to kind of let go of, or just be a bit aware of everything that's happened, and how pay attention to your part that you've played in that. And this new moon can be bringing in something really, really beautiful for you once you take responsibility for everything that's changed. You guys get the Empress. Beautiful card. Okay, so it says fertility. This is a wonderful time to give birth to new ideas and experiences. Nourishment is assured as I step into a new version of myself. My life is rich and ripe with possibility that I can manifest and create. I am a powerful co-creator, and life loves me right now. My world is brimming with potential and infinite possibility that will manifest for the highest good. So that's a really positive sign. It means that you know, fertility, you are able to create something. Something is brewing, something is coming, and I do think this is where you really start to move forward now that Saturn has left your sign and you've got a new moon. So well done for getting through everything that's gone on for the past however long. I hope that resonates, Pisces. Let me know in the comments if it does. Drop me a like, drop me a subscription, and thank you for being here. Take care. I hope the new moon is good to you guys. Lots of love. Bye bye.